Alright, and we're live. Me too. I'm glad I'm going live again. Alright, so today's plan is really just to work on some interiors for the actual town in the last video, last stream. Things have changed a little bit since then. I've worked on some more optimization and added trees, added some rock piles, worked on some of the landscape a little bit. All these are, of course, combined down into one mesh. Little tiny things to make the world seem less dead. You can only do so much with VR design's hard, obviously. Like, as much as I would love to have characters like walking around and stuff, that's definitely not something that's gonna be possible. Just because of the sheer performance that I'm working with on the Quest 2 right there. Strangely enough, the GPU is actually the weak point now instead of the CPU, where in the Quest 1, it was kind of the other way around. Or at least that's what I found with my development. I'm running, like, in this scene, I'm hitting 72 stable. I haven't been able to even try to develop for 90 yet, seeing as, hold on a second. Everything coming through right? Stable. I haven't been able to, yeah, okay. I haven't been able to hit 90 yet, seeing as I'm currently running Unreal Engine 4.25.3 instead of 4.26, because 26 is giving me a lot of errors when trying to compile down to an APK. Yeah, so I haven't been able to even get it able to be distributed on 4.26 yet. So, and in 4.26 they add the ability for you to select Quest 2 as part of your, somewhere over here, where is it at? Android. Yeah, like right here under the elements in the 4.26 or the actual release version for or the source version, I should say, that you actually have to compile down using Visual Studio. You can actually select Quest 2, but that's not an option in 4.25, the launcher version. Which I do have the source version downloaded as well, but it's kind of a pain to deal with. Something else I noticed too is, I'll get to that later, but yeah, so I can't select 90 hertz yet, so, because if you were to actually get the get display, I think it's get display frequency. Where is it? Somewhere. Game systems. We can go into any blueprint really. If we go to open the level blueprint, go here, and I was just to get display frequency. That's not gonna work. Strange. Yeah, get display frequency. It would only return 72 or 60. So that doesn't work, obviously. Anyway, yeah. Fixed an issue that was right here with it looking all jaggedy. Worked on some of the LODs being strange, because there also seems to be an issue where if you're in the VR headset, the draw distances are different for some reason, or the screen sizes are different compared to the like the flat screen. Like the draw distances of fog, if I re-enable the fog, are different here than they would be inside the headset. Like right here, it starts at like right past that tree. Inside the headset, it starts like in the middle of this building, and I'm not really sure what's causing that. Let me bring this down. Current stream management shit. Yeah. And this is running solidly at 72 frames a second, which is pretty amazing, seeing as it's running on a mobile device with hand track controllers, and compared to like the previous thing I did that got wiped out, this I'm amazed this is able to run. And the coolest part is the foliage. Like the foliage is very simple, like clearly as you can see, but it's still very. It adds something to the scene that just isn't there without it. So, yeah. And I think I need to finish working on these buildings. So what I should have done, and I didn't think about when I was actually merging, but it's too late now, and there are changes to be made anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All of these individual pieces, of course, are going to be separate load zones. So you'll go into a door, you'll click on it you'll grab with your controller, and you'll load into the zone. And how we're handling that is if I go to houses, let's go to house number 2, which is this one. I've created some stuff here. So if we go to the first floor merged, that's actually this is what the first floor level merging looks like. It is slightly different, you can tell, than this right here. Noticeably, the lack of stuff jetting out from the sides. Like right here, that has to be putting out. This right here, how there's like a hole here. But none of that will matter once there's actually a door in the frame that you can activate. And if we load into the actual level, this is what the entire thing looks like. Notice the weird geometry popping out like this. And that's just simply due to the way we're dealing with load doors. I can't use actual staircases. I mean, I could, but for the sake of performance and letting the user place as much stuff as they want, I'm trying to break up the levels as much as possible. And the best way to do that is load zones. So that, yeah, and all this is individual pieces. So if I do stat scene rendering, like we're rendering 107 draw calls right now, give or take a few. 120, 156, 115, somewhere in there. Now let's go to just the first floor merged. And this is all merged down into one piece of geometry. So now, that doesn't seem right. This one's not merged for some reason. I don't know why that is. First floor. Maybe I didn't get around to actually merging these yet. Okay, this one's merged. Go to this one. Something weird's going on with my draw calls here. So so it's 51 right there. And if we load into the merged version, it should be like 16. That's what it is in the headset. Yeah, see, it's 14 draw calls instead. Much more efficient. second floor. None of this has been merged yet. Need to rename this. And then actually merge it. I think I might use something like pre-computed visibility in this area as well. Which is something we're also doing in the main menu that I didn't show in the last stream. If we take off the height fog and we go to show, developer, no, visualize, pre-computed visibility cells. Pre-computed visibility is a really old method of dealing with visibility, obviously. So each one of these cells computes where the player can actually see if they're inside of it. It's pretty cheap to render and pretty efficient. Works pretty well with the Quest CPU as well. This is one of the ways that Drifter was able to actually get Robo Recall unplugged to actually run on the Quest 1. It's pretty cool. Good stuff. So I might end up using that inside of the house number 2 as well. Because while I would like to break up... Well, I would really like to break up this entire model into being, you know, this little house piece here, and then just this tunnel piece, and then this. One, that doesn't really make a lot of sense for usability, because why would there be a door right here? And two, it doesn't look good. And three, that's like more levels for no good reason. So let's go ahead and merge all this down, but I still think I might keep this piece. I think I might keep these as separate pieces. I'm not sure yet. Let's put a camera here. Let's see, rendering. Here, back to 1. That's 110 draw call, 113, 110. Okay. And I'll start merging these down together. Interior pieces as well, not including the doors. Because the doors need to load into areas, of course. And it should be that entire piece. Except for that and that, maybe that. Grab this and move it over. Okay, we're still missing a couple pieces. This piece. This piece, and I think this piece. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. Let's make a pivot point down here somewhere. That'll work. Now we can merge these down. What's up, man? Good to see you again in another stream. Today we're just working on some merging some of the house, like the exteriors of the houses. We're working on interior load zones. I'll go back out to the main menu so you can see the changes on that in just a moment. Houses, house number 2. And we're going to do the second floor merged piece 1. merged -1. And that'll give us this one piece here. Yeah. And if I use pre-computed visibility, I'll be able to say, like, when the player is right here, completely de-render this. De-render? That's not proper wording. Unrender? Not render? Whatever. I'll be able to not render this whole area here if I use pre-computed visibility. So, of course, frustum culling and all that helps with that too, but you know, what have you. Levels, back to the main menu. Save selected. So, yeah. So, from the last stream, all the merging of the actual houses are done. I've added in trees that somehow fucking managed to work in VR, and I'm very, very proud of that. A lot of aggressive lotting, as you can see clearly. Some rock clusters, some little fence pieces. A lot of work done on different... well, actually, I need to remove all the planes. I don't know if I already did that. I think I might have already done that. I can't remember. Yeah, I think I did that. That's good. Because I added the planes to the actual object itself. So if I pull that, yeah, that's all normal now. So yeah. The added trees really bring some life. And so do like the little fence pieces, which are also merged down. The rock clusters are merged down as well. And this is running, this runs on the Quest solid at 72 frames a second. I'm pretty excited about that. The fact that it's running at all, whereas my previous project was struggling to hit 70 on a desktop class GPU. Well, 80 I guess, because I was using the Rift S. Yeah. And then the actual fog should load things in and out. If we go to game view, things. You'll never actually notice the pop in and out of items, or at least you shouldn't, because by the time you're there, the item's already loaded in. So if I remove the fog, you'll notice the thing's popping out. The doors notably do not pop out, and that's by design. Although, maybe should change that to maybe 75 distance. Yeah, it's currently at 6500, but that's not working for some reason. Huh. I don't know why it's not working. Strange that. Not sure what's causing that. That's pretty strange. Oh, it's not fading out the actual planes. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. Let's go ahead and grab all these. Yeah, that's probably adding. That's probably adding a few dozen draw calls. Well, that's not good. Looks like I can't batch those either. Huh. That's... you got an offer from a German website for game critics and don't know if you should accept. Game critics, what do you mean? Like being a game critic? Like writing pieces on games? A little bit of bug fixing here. That should actually make these fade out. Intended. The draw distance is a little bit farther than the actual doors because we don't want people to be able to see behind. Not that it'll ever be a problem, but because they're so simple with geometry, shouldn't be that much of a problem. $6,500. Play the game and write an article about that. I mean, it seems like a pretty good, thing to accept. I mean, it's playing a game and writing an article about it. I mean, do you think you could actually write enough information about a game? Like, one of the problems I have when it comes to like making videos, even, is I'm not good. I hate fluff. So, and what I mean by that is like I hate, if I can get something across in like a sentence, why the hell would I write a paragraph? that was my problem in school. Was I hated writing like writing prompt things, because I could finish it in like a sentence versus like a page, and I was never good at that. And that's part of the problem I have with making videos sometimes. Like, sometimes I'll have a video idea, but then I'll write a script for it, and the script is like 2,000 words or something like that. Yeah. I mean, that being said, though, it's like, I don't know, maybe I could do that, because like my Oblivion videos. Oblivion is my most favorite game of all time. I don't think any game's ever going to replace it, to be honest. Not even the Elder Scrolls 6 when it comes out. Skyrim didn't replace it, and Skyrim kind of blows compared to Oblivion, in my opinion. Just the world in general was just not as good. It's very like Viking-esque, whereas Oblivion is very Tolkien-esque. Yeah. But the Oblivion videos, I could make videos for days about anything about Oblivion. But I don't think there's a very large market for that. And also, I feel like you might get a lot of hate, too, from like people that love Skyrim obsessively. Like, I think there's one of the Oblivion videos I did when somebody commented something about how good Skyrim is. And I was like, yeah, Skyrim's not that great. And they were like, kill yourself. Okay. Like, wow, that's a little excessive for disliking a game you like. Internet's crazy. No. No, there's not. Respond to that. How many downloads has Oblivion? What do you mean? Like, how many sales does the game have? I'm not sure. Like, that's what you mean. My perfect game, in all reality, would be Oblivion, like, in VR. Let's see about that. How many sales did Oblivion have? Google search, 9.5 million copies. Versus Skyrim, which is probably like 30 million or some shit. 20 million copies for Skyrim. That's depressing, dude. Oblivion's just such a better game. Like, the Dark Brotherhood questline is better. The Thieves Guild questline is better. The Fighters Guild exists in Oblivion. And in Skyrim, you have the stupid companions, which are just yay werewolves, I guess. Ugh. I don't get it. Let's fix all these real quick. I really wish I could bulk edit this, but it doesn't appear to be letting me do that. Probably because it's a child element. Probably an easier way to do that. Oh well. Almost done with them. this real quick. I'm super glad you showed up, because if I wouldn't have, if you wouldn't have showed up, I probably wouldn't have even found this bug until now. Or until later, I mean. Small little issues like this can really add up. Respond to this. Let's zoom out. I think I got all the doors. See, if we zoom all the way out here, we just have the landscape. Yeah. Yeah, no more doors. That's pretty good. And if we enable the fog, you'll never actually notice the pop-in. Unless you're really looking for it, you should never notice the pop-in. And it's by design. You might notice some LOD pop, especially on some items like this fence right here. Like that's a very clear pop right there. Yeah, right there. That's a very clear pop. But it's something that's necessary to keep the triangle count down. What are you gonna do, you know? Yeah. Pretty good. That was weird. Oh well. Okay. Back to the houses. Let's go to house number 2. Is it possible to see when I sub to you? I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure I've seen YouTubers say before that they can tell when someone's subbed. I don't know, though. Let me check, actually. That's interesting. I should check that. Let me go to YouTube Studio. Let's see. Dashboard. Subscribers, channel analytics, maybe? Audience. That's not right. I don't know where I would see that. Oh, there you go. Subscribers, see all. 115. 90 days. Let's do lifetime. 10 of mini. I don't see your name on here, actually. No, I don't. Did you say you had another name before or something? Maybe that's what's going on there? I don't know. Yeah. I don't see your name on there. Yeah. What was the previous name? Oh, okay. That might maybe that. I don't know. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's just not showing up. I don't know. YouTube does weird stuff. Like, it's only showing... If I go to 50 per page, that might change something. No, that's even weirder. There's a lot of stuff broken in YouTube Studio. Go to Lifetime. So like, if I go to Lifetime, subscriber count, there should be like a list of 115 people, but the list I have is of 39 people. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Well, no, it's not the latest subs because like if you go into YouTube Studio and then you go to Lifetime. Gotta be a way to do that. Hold on. Now I'm curious about this. Subscribers. YouTube Studio. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have a thing for, like, subscribers here. That's recent subscribers. And if I was to go to, like, Lifetime, it's just, like, not there. Change it to 50 per page. It's only 39 things. And it goes all the way back to October... Okay, May. I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Shut up, Google. Yeah. That was about January 4th, so I don't know. That's strange. I don't know. Upright. Yeah, alright, back to this. Back to the houses. Let's go to the second floor merged. If we go back to our camera, now we have 77 draw calls where we started with 110 from this same view. So that was just from merging that one piece. We'll merge this as well down into one thing. Of course, excluding the doors. You notice we also don't need a skylight or anything in this thing, like inside of an interior, because our windows are opaque. And because we're using the unlit lighting model, we don't even need a skylight, which is pretty great, actually. You save some computation there. Make sure we get the floor. Drag that over. I'm missing a few things here. Control Z. Yeah, just the center woodwork here. Let's drag that over. Make sure we have everything. Everything except the door. That's right. Let's merge this down as well. Go to houses. House number 2. This is second floor merged 1-2. And the actual connector piece, all this should be the same. Using one material. Well, one of the glass materials. And then if we go back to our camera location. Scene rendering. 81. That doesn't seem to be right. 81. Well, I guess it could be because it's drawing. It's probably drawing some meshes that it wasn't previously. It's pretty strange. No, wait, there we go. 46. 46 draw calls. Down from original 110. And even that number's probably not 100% accurate. Now, if we do a pre-computed visibility volume, drop that in here, and then have that encompass this house. Let's take that to 500, maybe 1,000 even. I don't know where it's going to fall. It's better-ish. Let's bring that over, move it up, move it over. I'm going to do one volume for each of these. So one volume here, one volume here, one volume here. How long is the live show today? I don't know, really. Maybe, probably until maybe like 4, 5 o'clock, maybe. I'm not sure. Probably 2 or 3 hours. I don't know. Depends on if I get tired or hungry or something. I don't know. I actually ate before today's show, so you know. What's going on here? Why is this not moving? Let's move this over here. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Move it up to right about there. Make sure we're getting all that. Put it to there. It's probably fine. It's a little strange there, but whatever. Let's probably add 1,020. Even though the player's never going to be up that high, it's whatever. Never need to see those either. Let's probably make it 1,020 all the way around, 1,200 all the way around. That should cover all of that. Maybe not actually. Maybe a little bit wider. 1,300. Nope, other direction. 300 and bring it over that way. I should encompass all of that as well. Still kind of large on that end. Make it 1,300 on this side too. Pull it over. And then we can just, for the sake of showing, I can do visualize pre-computed visibility. And then actually build visibility cells. Didn't enable pre-computed visibility. There we go. Pre-compute visibility. There we go. Give it that second to build lighting, even though there's no lighting to be built because it's unlit. Let's see what that does. Yeah, there we go. Built all those little cells. Strangely enough, it did not build inside. I wonder why I did that. Huh. Perhaps that's by... I don't know. It's quite possible I'm not using pre-computed visibility cells properly. I'm not sure. It's a feature that I'm not as familiar with, but I do know they used it when shipping Robo Recall unplugged. Let's drag that down, move that to maybe 800. Make that 800 as well. Make that 500 because it's rather slim and narrow. Let's do a top view. Top view. What is going on? There we go. Let's move this over this way. Let's make it 400. Make it 350. 375. There we go. Move it back some. There. Let's make it 875. It should be fine if they overlap, I would think. And then let's make another one. Probably do a left view real quick as well. That's probably fine. Let's do front. Bring this down right about there. We can crush down the top to about 500. Maybe less than that even. That should be. That's probably fine. 475. 450. 450 might work. Let's change this to 10 and just drag it down a little bit. Yeah, that should work. Let's make another one of these. Drag it over. Right about there. Let it overlap just a little bit. Let's make it 1,000. That's 100, Robert. Drag it over. Let's make it 800. That's 8,000. 800. Drag it over. No, that's too small. Let's make it 850, perhaps. Yeah, there's a little bit of overlap there. That should be fine, I guess. So let's make the height 1,000. Miss my zeros today. And drag that down. Drag it up some. Might be part of the previous video. Actually, let's make it 1,000. There we go. Maybe. Nope. That's better. Ish. Let's go with that. Okay, let's go back to the top view. And drag this box over. Perhaps even. No, let's just stick with that. It'll be alright. Then if we go back to perspective mode, have all these boxes. Then if we do a pre-compute static visibility, then we go show visualize pre-computed visibility. Now we have a bunch of visibility cells. Yeah, that should definitely help. I'm pretty sure that should work how I'm hoping it will. And I can probably test it real quick if I actually just We'll wait to test that till the end because I'm going to do these one at a time. Yeah, we'll just disable that. Okay. And there we have this part. Yeah, so we got door piece, we got the upper part. Those doors are going to have to go to separate cells. That's fine. I'll deal with that later. Actually, hooking up all the cells is something I think I'm definitely going to handle later. Because right now, by default, every single door will just, it defaults to going back to the main menu. As you can see right here, the actual level name is just a variable that's plugged in on the fly here. So, let's go to the merge level, which is what this one is. Save. Just going to reload the level, that's fine. I don't know why that just happened. We do show. Visualize. It's weird that these moved. I don't know why I did that. It's fine. It's whatever. Okay. And all this should be separate. Yep. Probably should have kept those levels to begin with. You know, the unmerged levels, but too late now. The whole, the first floor, second floor merged. So you selected. And these as expected. This is merged. Okay. Don't need a pre-computed visibility cell in here. Because, I mean, yeah, it's not going to do anything. It's one giant mesh. And this is the one that's unmerged. Correct. The basement has been properly merged. Yep. The first floor has not merged yet. I need to rename this cell. First floor. And then I need to make a duplicate and name it merged. What the hell did I just do with that? Merged. There we go. Let's load into that one. If we make a camera here, and look here, we have 25 draw calls. Control 1 there, so we get our camera. 25 draw calls. Turn that off. Let's merge all this down into one. Houses, house 2. This is house 2, 1. First floor. Int. Merged. I need a better naming scheme. It's kind of a lot. It's whatever though. We'll deal with it later. Like that. Escape. 16 draw calls. It's only a reduction of 10, but when you're working with VR, every single draw call matters. And the resulting mesh is 5,000 polygons. It's kind of a lot for what we're working with, but too far into the project to really change it, unfortunately. The next project is going to be something entirely different. Some ideas for how I'm going to deal with the low spec of VR. So that should be everything then. We have the first floor 2-1. It merged. We get that. With the actual top floor, we get the middle. Yeah, that should be everything. Okay, let's turn off the scene rendering. And then I guess we can load into these and test them. And I don't have a player start in these. I do have a player start in the other ones. I think. Not that one actually. That's not a level. I don't like you doing that. Let's go to sort by level only. And then we go to the basement. Let's take our player start. Copy that. World settings, make sure we're using the Medical Game Designer. Merged. Let's only do merged as well. So we have, should be 4 different pieces. The second floor merged into one, the first floor, bottom level here, and then the basement on the one. That's 4, yeah. We'll go to this one, make sure we're using the proper world settings so we can actually load into the game. Game Designer GM. Save. Let's give it a player start. And right now we're not messing with where the actual start is. Where'd the player start go? Oh well. Let's do edit, paste here. Face it this way. Auto possess player 1. Well, 0. Stick that there. Save. I guess we can go and mess with this so we can test this one. This is going to take us to the second floor. The second floor merge, so I can take that name and just drop that name right in here. This is still going to take us to the main menu, which, you know what that's called right now. We're just probably rename that as well, to be honest. Okay, save current. Let's go to the first floor merge. This is the first. Let's go to first floor merged. This is also where the basement's gonna go. We have a player start here. That's good. World settings, with the proper world settings. Let's check all the world settings real quick, because that's a pain if I don't. Yeah, okay. This one's not set properly. Save that. Go back to the second floor merged first. Okay. In here, this is going to load us also to the second floor merged. Okay. And this one is going to load us into the basement. We'll take that, throw that in there. Don't like the dashing in there. Should be fine, maybe, hopefully. Don't know, actually. And save. I'm going to take my headset, controllers, cable that has a bag on it for some reason. Disconnect the battery bank because Oculus didn't think that through. We'll test that in just a moment. Hey, what's up, man? Today we're just working on some, actually making some of the meshes, as you can see here. Got this. And in just a moment, I'm going to load back to the main menu so I can actually test this. Let's go to levels. What is happening here? Oh, still says merged. Duh. There we go. Let's go to the main menu. Okay. We have some trees and stuff in here now. And this is the actual second floor thing. Hopefully it works. Let's go into the headset. I believe. Yes. Glasses off. Okay, let's go play. It's gonna give us that. Come on. The controller, there it is. Have the controllers backwards, that would help. Okay, allow. Come on. Let's change this real quick. Let's maximize that. It's gonna look pretty bad on the stream probably, but that's to be expected. All right, I'm at seating level. I wonder if that's coming through. No, it's definitely not. That's fine. I still need to disable that player capsule, which I'll get to eventually. And we just walk through here. There's still some aggressive loading going on that I gotta work on, but the actual loading, the popping in of the actual buildings is little to none. So we should be able to load into this building now. I don't think I did the door over there. I might not have did this one either, actually. No, that's gonna crash. Oops. Shutting down Pi because there's no transition state. That's fine. Okay. That's because it doesn't know where to go. Should have thought about that. That's fine. Okay. So this is going to go to the houses. This is the house 2-1 first floor. I think. Yeah, it's house 2-1 first floor. Copy that name. input it in the door. If I can get the door piece. First floor. That should load in there. And this should load to the second. First floor. Oh, it needs to be the merged one actually. Because otherwise we're dealing with bad performance. Control. Make that F2. Why is that not working? Control. Door. B. I get the merged version. This one is going to be the second floor merged. Second first floor merged. This one's more complicated than the other ones because it has multiple pieces. Hopefully the other ones will be a lot easier to deal with. This one also has like a basement and stuff. It's different. Yeah, that should work there. Save that. And let's go into play mode. Once again, blow this up. Looks kind of bad in large screen, but it's fine. Looks better in the Quest. Got our hands. Obviously. I know we can load into that house because that was one of the first ones I did. That's technically the main house. Alright, let's go in here. This should load us into that. Okay, we have weird lighting issues going on. My hands are black for some reason. That's fine. Doesn't matter. The scaling is a little weird on this one as well, probably because I'm seated. Also, I didn't deal with the height adjustments, but that's fine. I'll deal with that later. This should load us to the second floor. And that's not supposed to happen. Okay, the fun of game design. Oh, it's making me dizzy. Ugh, okay. That's not supposed to happen. Why did that do that? Let's go find out. House 2, second floor merged. Did we not put a player start in here? We did not put a player start in here. Okay. I'm going to put the player starts. Player start right here. That'd be fine. It's not going to work for both sides, but it'll be fine when we get there. Let's bring that to the floor. Auto possess player 1. Save current. Let's go back to the main menu. Can't believe I forgot that. Let's go into play mode. Let's blow this up so you can see. Here we are, back again. This time we'll go into this door. Yay, testing purposes. Go into there. And now we're in the first floor of this part. If we do this, it'll take us back outside. Our hands are normal again. That's strange. Also, we're over here this time. Little issues to deal with, but get to them when we get to them. Second floor. There we go. We're in the second floor now. There we are. We're going to walk along through here. Get this little windowed area with all the windows and stuff. Now we're in this area. There's nothing over here, of course. We go over here. Should be able to go to the first floor. Okay, that took us to the main menu. That wasn't right. Ah. Oh well. That's a problem to be solved. Small issue. The basement should work, though. I guess I just didn't do the second floor very well. And here's the basement. Works fine. Basement also takes us to the main menu. Okay, so two pathing issues to fix. Yeah, the black hands. It's definitely something with the lighting. I know exactly what it is actually. Every other model in the world. Yeah, the black hands is just from the lighting. And I will fix that in just a moment. I wasn't sure if I was going to change the hand lighting model like everything else is, because currently the hand material lighting is using a default lit material versus everything else in the world is using unlit, which is why we're able to get away with not using a skylight. So of course there's no skylight, so the hands can't be lit. So if I actually go to, let me deal with the second floor thing first. If I go to houses, second floor merged, the problem is these are going to the main menu, and that's not right. This should be going to the second floor, first floor merge. Let's change that so we can actually get it. Take this in here, V, enter. The basement, we need to go there, I think. Is this one going to take us there? Okay, that's also wrong. That one needs to be the first floor merged. F2, save. put that there. Come on. 2 copy. Even the arms should be something that doesn't react to light. I mean, yeah, the player should always be in control. You're right about that. I've been thinking a lot about how much control to give to a player, in a lot of different areas. You'll see what I mean in a minute about my lighting thing. Let me make sure the basement's fixed as well, because I can't remember for some reason. That's going to take us to the main menu. That needs to go to the first floor. Merged. Control that. Stick that there. I'll let it work. Stick that there. That should do that. Enter. Now if we find our player hands, so we can go all the way down to virtual BP, down to, that's engine content. I don't want to look at the engine content. BP. Finding his hands, yeah. So if we go to virtual reality, let's change that off. Let's go to meshes. No, that's not right. BP, blueprints, motion controller. I'll load that up. Viewport, our player's hands. Go to the actual element. Here's our actual material. Yeah, see, our material here is using 850 instructions. That is, what's the nice? A fucking lot. It's a lot of instructions. Let's actually go to the parent material so we can change that real quick. And part of it's because we're using forward rendering, of course. It ups the instruction count from at least from what I've seen online. So yeah, here we have this nice beautiful material for our hands. It's actually using a subsurface scattering material, which is even worse for performance. So we're going to change that to unlit, which is going to give us only an emissive, which is what we're going to take the skin color. We're going to plug the skin color right in like that. Take out the roughness, take out the specular, take out the normal map, take out the subsurface color, take out the ambient occlusion, and now we have this basic ass material, which is unfortunate. But is what it is. And that takes our instruction count down to 122, which is significant. Hopefully that doesn't break our... hand models too much. We'll see when we go back to the main menu, load into here, save selected. Let's get our headset back on. Okay, let's go to play. Let's blow it up so you guys can see it. Okay, let's see. Other controller. Alright, now our hands are much more basic now. They're kind of ugly, but, you know, they're hands. It's whatever. They have this weird, kind of a powdery texture to them. Oh well, deal with it later. And then we can load into the first floor, right here. And then if we go here, should take us to the second floor. Second floor. Load this. Should take us back to the first floor, which it does. Takes us to the wrong side of the room, but whatever. Oh, that's not right. That took us to the wrong house. Yeah. Alright, let's go back over here. Yeah, this should be taking us to the second floor, which it does. That door, I think I put these backwards on accident. Oh, no, that's right, because we're using one single spawn point. So if we go over here, this is the actual second floor, technically the part 2 part we're supposed to be looking at. If we use this door, it takes us back to where we're supposed to go, which is right here. We go back up top, down here, takes us into here, then we can go into the basement, as expected, and then the basement can take us back to the first floor, and then we can go back out to the main menu. And then just for a little sneaky peek thing, we'll go in here where there's a little goblin standing here, hanging out. And just for the sake of it, I'll bring up my menu here, which no one has seen yet, actually, which is funny. Let's drag that around. This is very early stuff that no one's actually supposed to see yet. We'll get there when we get there. Let's see. I think I want to use, maybe, let's see here. Which one of these do I like? I Like this one, maybe? Maybe? This is all very early stuff that no one's supposed to see. But, you know, let's put it on stream for everyone to look at. And here's the second floor of this house. Back down to the first floor. The goblin's alive again. And we're out. Notice the lack of sound effects and everything else. Alright, let's see what you said there. The RSP thing. What if they were only an outline? That's how Oculus handles dealing with hand tracking, actually. Like, you can have, like, a ghost kind of hand thing. But, yeah. I don't think I'd want to do that. I think I would just want to use those hands. And I'll probably just smooth out the material somehow. And I'll give the player the option, too, of like a more of a black hand, more of a brown hand, more of a you know, Caucasian fucking people hand. You know, maybe give a wide range of skin tones, because VR is for everyone. And it's beautiful. So that's fine. Cool. Alright, so that's progress. We'll deal with actually loading into other areas eventually. Okay, that works for that. Notifications are killing me, man. What the hell? Okay, that's number 2. And that one is done. Let's like that. The fogs. We've done 1 and 2. Let's actually head to number 3, which I don't know which one that is, because like I said, oh yeah, it is this one. That's to be expected. All right, and here comes the fun part. We're gonna have to go to number 3, make a new level. Let's go to number 3, house number 3. Load into that. This is going to be our model. Now we know what that is. Let's open up a new level. And this is going to be 3 whole int. And this is where we're going to put the entirety of the model, and then we're going to split it up into a second floor and a first floor. Just take the model, drag it in here. What I really should have done was when I had it in the outside, I should have maintained each one of these, but too late now, because that was a destructive change. Unless I'm going to revert, which I'm not going to do by under any circumstance. So let's go over to our items here. Let's find the plaster wall. Let's go to the actual materials. Let's go to the building parts. Let's go to walls. There we go. First things first. Let's get ourselves a floor. Let's get ourselves a floor. Where's the floors? Houses. Floor. 10 by 10. Take this floor, and we'll stick that at 0, 0, 0. And then we'll take this, and we'll just move it over here. Real quick, let's change the world settings to using the proper game mode. It's probably a default thing I could do for that. Oh well. Deal with that later as well. And we'll go to our walls. We'll get our door wall, which is this one for the time being. Change our glass material to the proper glass material. Set it like right there. That's probably fine. It's whatever. We're going to have to move it anyway. Bring that over. Change that out with this model. Flip it around. -1. Fix the materials that are all screwed up now. that. Now to get another piece, copy it around, pull it over, wall 3, change it over, and then it's 2 of those tiny walls. That's fine. Nope. Change our 15%. This way, this way. I should make this 2. This one actually is a plain one on the end anyway. Bring it over. Replace this one with a half wall. Oh, actually, it's a half wall with a window, isn't it? Replace the other one with a half wall. Pull it over. Drag this in the center. And that is one of those again. Let's fix the material. Just like that. And then we have our first level, technically. Let's find out what to do with this floor piece. Let's see what else we got in here. 2 by 12, 8 by 12, so that. 8 by 12, that'll work. Deal with that. Probably just stretch it out a little bit. Might fit. I mean, that does fit, but it's kind of close to the edge. Yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, that's probably fine. Okay, let's take this and drag it up to make the second level. Of course, this doesn't have to be pretty because it's all going to be covered anyway. And then we'll take the first layer. Those pieces. I think this one's normal. Yeah, we'll just use that piece, this piece, and then all the other pieces, just like that. We'll drag those up, right like that. We'll convert these back to the normal wall piece. Did I not change those pieces, perhaps? No, I'm using stained glass version 3. Need to use number 2 because number 2, that'll allow us to maintain a low level of material count. Good catch, good catch, good catch. Yeah, they should all be using stained glass number 2. I really should get rid of number 3 altogether. Then again, these are going to change the normal walls anyway, so it doesn't matter. Back to this, change both those for these. Grab this one, slide it over. Grab this one, slide it over. Convert this one to one of these. Change the material to number 2. Same thing over here. Material number 2. I really should just change the default material. That's going to make this so much easier. Default material number 2. Save. Exit. Default material number 2. Because I'm never going to want transparency on this part. It's better if I just go and change all of the ones with the windows to the right material. I always want it to be opaque. I never want transparency. Not for VR sake. Let's change that. I was using number 3. Let's change that to 2. The difference between 3 and 2 is just 3 is opaque as well, but it also doesn't have a back panel. Or it doesn't have, it's not two-sided. Which could be advantageous, but I'm not really quite worried about that right now. That's a performance optimization thing to deal with at a later date. Okay. That makes dealing with that a little bit easier. Okay. Then let's add our roof. Grab one of these, slide it up. Change the roof piece. I believe it's this one. It is indeed. Drag it over. The beauty of working with modular kits. It's great. Let's spin this around like that. Pull it over. There we go. Convert this one to one of these wall pieces, wherever it is. Using the smaller version of the windows here. Convert to that. And that should give us a replica 1-for-1 of this, except for the end piece which I need to add. Some weird LOD issues here, but that's nothing to worry about. It doesn't use that LOD anyway. Once we convert it to another mesh, once we merge it down into one piece. Let's take this, slap that on there, roll it over, pull it over here, and flip it around, pull it over this way, and that gives us a complete replica of this house, which we can now remove. Excluding doors, of course, which, you know, we're not adding yet. And we need to find a place for a staircase, which I guess I'll probably just like put here somewhere. Yeah. Problem with too many windows, but you know, what are you gonna do? Small problems. Okay. Now we got houses. Go down to house number 3. I hate the way it did this. It really needs to be more in line. Something to fix at a later date. Let's duplicate this and name it int first floor. And duplicate it again. Second floor. Let's do the first floor first. Actually, let's get rid of those, because I should deal with the issue with the staircase first. Yeah, the best place for the staircase is probably going to be right here, even though there's a window there. There's not really much I can do about that. Small problems. You could have a window in a staircase area. Sure, let's go with that. Okay, let's grab a staircase piece from here. We're going to use this one. No. We're going to use the other one. Okay, I'm going to shove that right up in this corner. It doesn't have to fit perfectly. It just needs to work, honestly. Just needs to work for what it is. And that's a little bit of a drop off there, but that should be fine. There's a wall piece there, so that might be alright. Or on the interior, though. So real quick, let's deal with that. Take it to 5 and just drag this up. So it's relatively flush with the floor. Down a little bit, perhaps. It's probably close enough. I mean, as long as you don't see outside of here, should be fine. Yeah, that'll be alright. Okay, let's go back to 50 here. And of course, the original plan was to use staircases everywhere. But with some of these designs, it doesn't make sense. I would have to like tear out part of the floor here and use different pieces, and for the sake of what? What happened here? Okay, day job problem. Let's do that real quick. What could possibly be wrong with that? Browser version is 87, binary patch. Their version of Chrome is not updated. Oh, that's a simple. Which is supposed to do automatically. What is the current version of Chrome? 87. Yeah, they must have just pushed out the update for 88. That's weird. Okay, back to that. Yeah, the original design was to use staircases everywhere, but I'd have to rip out a lot of stuff, and it doesn't work well for having to go up and down between levels, and it would create an issue for draw call, stuff like that. So in this case, the answer that I've come to is just use one of these half walls. And just make a kind of thing here on each and every one of these. It's not perfect, but for the actual use case, which I'm aware no one that's watching knows the use case really is, because I haven't really talked much about the app, but for what it is, it'll be fine. We can use this piece here like this. And then we'll make another one of these half walls, about halfway like that. Bring it over like this. And then we'll just, as ugly as it is, we will stretch out. That's ugly. I don't like that at all. Don't like that at all. 1.2, that's wrong. Axis 1.2. Yeah, it's pretty ugly, but without changing the exterior mesh, that's going to be an issue. So we'll leave that like it is, and then we will pull these ones up. So at the top of the staircase, get rid of this, get rid of this. Top of the staircase should be one of these. We'll change that to one of these half walls. So it's just like it's also going to kill that. That's unfortunate, but there's not really much I can do there. For the sake of design, it's going to have to be what it is. And we'll just cut this in half so you'll get that little half piece at least. But that's going to have to be what it is. It's not perfect, but is what it is. For the sake of usability, it's going to be what it is. So drag this piece over like that. Yeah, that'll be fine for the sake of usability, for what it is. Kind of get a little bit of a funhouse mirror effect with some of these designs, but you know, the insides don't really match the outsides, but it's not really a better way to deal with it, to be honest. Another email. What's the problem here? Come on. Inbox. I think what version of Chrome has. I mean, I have some machines out in the field. Version of Chrome. Okay. I suppose I could do that. Small problem. Okay then, that's fine. Anyway, yeah, back to this. So yeah, that's a little bit of a drop-off thing, and it should be. It's not exactly pretty, but it'll work for what it is. Need to add this to this. Might be able to just expand this one. It's gonna be ugly, but someone's gonna complain about that. Too far gone. Yeah, that's fine. No reason to stretch that out and break it even more. Make this 1.4 as well. Alright. And then we'll get rid of the actual original staircase. And so what you get with is this on the bottom and this on the top. It's not perfect by any means, but it'll work for what it is. And then, if we go back to the houses, we go to house number 3. Now we save this. We duplicate this and call this first floor. Duplicate it again and call it second floor. We open up the first floor, save selected. Okay, now we're on the first floor. We get rid of all the stuff on the second floor. I know, it seems kind of counterintuitive. Get rid of all the stuff on the second floor. So we're left with only the beginning piece, which is just this. Okay. Then we save. There's a problem there as well. Firebase. Small problem to get back to. It's fine. Okay. Then we're left with this. We will duplicate this as well. It's merged. Load into that. We'll select all these and merge them down into one mesh. And then we'll make that, check here real quick actually. Let's make a camera right here. Go over right there. It's scene rendering. We got 41 draw calls. Let's merge this down into one mesh. Merge actor. Let's go to houses. House number 3. House 3 underscore first floor. Merged. Okay. Camera 1. 44 to 18 draw calls. That is significant. Very significant. Now there is an argument that could possibly be made for splitting this up even further, because it's a balancing act, you know. So I could have done this in like half. Like half of it is one piece, and then half of it's another, and the floor is always rendered because it'll always be there. And then you could possibly get 9 draw calls instead, you know? If the player is looking this way, they're only facing one half of it. And if they're facing this way, they're only doing half. So you're only getting 9 draw calls on either side. And there's a valid argument to make there. Whereas this, with the players inside of it, they're always going to be viewing the entirety of the mesh, because it's merged down into one piece. So it doesn't matter if the player's looking this way or looking this way, they're still probably going to get 18 draw calls. So, but 44 to 18 is a significant enough drop, and 18 is such a insignificant number. Even working with it's not insignificant. It's a small number. It's such a small number, though, that I'm comfortable with it, and that's the reason why we're breaking these up into second floor and first floor type of thing. So we can have even lower draw call counts, because once the player starts adding items into these houses, excuse me, that draw call is going to go up. Do the same thing here. It's like this, 82 draw calls. It's a lot. Come on. There we go. Now we're going to do the exact opposite here. We're going to get rid of everything on the first floor. Okay, now we're left with just the second floor stuff. Let's save this, duplicate it, name this one merged. And I'm only using separate maps for this as well, because for the final build, it doesn't matter. Like of course, you wouldn't want to package all of this stuff into a shipping build, you know, seeing as that would, especially on something like the Quest, that would bloat the file size enormously. Seeing as I'm already at like 2.9 gigabytes, I don't really want to go much higher than that, as much as I can drop off. You can actually specify maps to actually load. So like if you go to, I think it's packaging, you can determine what maps to actually load. So what maps to include in a package build. Yeah. So then if we make another camera, let's make this camera like right here, Control 1. Let me make sure it captured it. That's 1. Make the scene rendering. 43 polygon, 43 draw calls. Okay, let's merge all these into one. Merge actors. Merge houses. House 3. And this is going to be second floor. Second floor merged. And then if we use our camera, go back to there. 18 draw calls. So the entirety of the thing went from 88 draw calls for the entirety of the whole mesh top and bottom to being 44 and 43 on the top. 44 on the bottom, 43 on the top, and then they're both 18 draw calls once they're merged down. Granted, that's without any kind of, you know, doors or any of that stuff. So probably going to be an ending draw call of 22 for the bottom and 23. No. 22 for the bottom and 20 for the top. Because the door currently has 2 draw calls. That's the actual, the plane that deals with the blocking, which I really should convert to 1 mesh, which would make it 1 draw call, and then there's going to be 4 draw calls on the bottom extra, because there's 2 different doors. So, cool. And that's that. Save current. File. Save all. Cool stuff. Yep, there we go. Nice. So then if we go to the we can actually start adding in the doors now. So let's get a player start. Let's make sure the world settings are proper. Yes, they are. Player start, drag that in here. Drag that up, drag it down. Let's get one of our doors. How is that not there? That doesn't seem right. This is door, there it is. Let's flip it around. Drag a door there. Let's set this to a much smaller. Let's go up a little bit, drag it over. It's still a little off. Let's go down to 1. Drag it over, drag it out some. That's probably close enough. Not too much of an overlap. Yeah, it's sticking out too much though. Drag it back in some, there we go. And then this is going to go to the houses. This is going to be number 3. This is going to take us to the first floor merged map. So if we go to that, we can get the actual value, enter. That's where it's going to load us. It's going to load us into the bottom. Save current. Now if we actually go into the first floor, do the same thing down here, deal with adding in a player start. Put that there. Make it face this way. So it's kind of the same on both. And make it touch the ground. Okay. Once we get our door. That's right, it's not in there. It's in the houses. Let's grab a couple of those. And we'll need one for now. Let's drag that over. Flip it around to being -90. Drag it over here. Let's sink it down a little bit into the ground. It's not perfect, but it works for what it is. I suppose I can mess with scale and stuff, but why? And that fits there. And this one is going to go to the second floor. So let's go to house number 3. Should really rename these folders, they're a mess. Second floor merged. 2, copy. Go to the door, got the menu, that, thank you. Save that. And then let's get another door. Probably could have used that one. Copy it over, whatever. There's our door again. Drag it in here like that. Drop it down just a little bit. Drag it over. This one's already going to go to the main menu, which is perfectly fine. Okay. And that should be good on that. Save current. And save all for good measure. What did I not do here? Save. Pretty sure I already did that, but alright. Okay. If we go back out to the main menu, make sure this loads into, that's the wrong place. Where is the right one? I think it's this one, yes. This needs to load into houses, house number 3. Just load into that. Set current. Back into the headset. Play. Make this large. I should really deal with that real quick. I don't need that displaying anymore because I'm not working on player stuff right now. Blueprints, motion controller. Let's go to viewport, actual collision sphere. I need hidden in game. Compile and save. Go back to play. Now that's no longer there, which is good because nobody wants to see that. Back into the headset. Hands again. Alright. Oculus metrics on the screen. Okay, if we go over to that door, we should be able to load into this house. There we go. Loaded into this house. Just as it looks on the outside. I probably could have fixed that, but it's not that big of a deal. Not really. No. Maybe it is. Having a hard time here. Oh, falling off the map. That's a problem. That's fine. And you see, this is why I kept the unmerged version. You wouldn't think that would cause much of a problem for the player to get over that little hump right there, but it does. So the answer here is to either drag that piece of the floor up or drag the other part down. Let's see if we can drag this up with, see if we can get away with dragging it up. That should be fine. I can probably deal with that. That should be fine. Yeah, that works. Although if I expand it out, I could just get away with... Yeah, let's do that instead. Let's make this 1.2. Nope, wrong direction. .15 maybe. 1.15. That's fine. And then we have a consistency here and here. That doesn't exist otherwise. And we can drag this back down now. Right about there. Okay. Now, take all these again. And let's rename this old duplicate merged save selected. Now this is the way it's supposed to be. We can go into the old version because the door location should be identical. Copy the door, copy the player start, copy that, copy. Go back into the merged version. And just paste those right into place. Then we can take our actual mesh itself. Meshes, I should say for now. And merge them down into houses. House number 3. First floor merged. Save. Override it. Yes. And now we have that. Let's go back to the main menu. Save. Play. Expand this out. Okay. Now if I look around here, go over to this house and load into it. Now we have a consistency here as well as over here. I'm aware these windows are oddly tall. Second floor. Works like a charm, how it's supposed to. With a little cubby hole here, get an extra window, something. And loads into the first floor. And back out to the main menu, where we can then again go into any one of these other houses as expected. Good stuff. Alright. Okay. Alright. Got done with 2 houses. One of which is already halfway done. Stuff takes such a long time. A bad workflow probably. Anywho. Probably going to wrap this up because I have day job stuff to work on apparently now. Oh, the fun of working from home from anywhere. Fun stuff. Anyway. Well, this has been fun. Thanks for stopping by. And I'll probably do another stream tomorrow or the next day. Probably working on the same thing, to be honest. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Stream tomorrow or the next day. Probably working on the same thing, to be honest. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next time.